One of the questions was, why do you bale the tobacco if you're just going to bale it and then make a cigar with it right after? Those bales stay. Take all the pictures you want here after you come here, I did not. So, what they do is, after they stretch it, what they do is they take each leaf and they come here almost halfway through the tobacco. It travels from the northeast. Remember I told you, you said you had a, I think you had a left-hand leaf, I told you it was a right-hand leaf or vice versa. The reason this is a right-handed leaf, I'm sorry, left-handed leaf is because it's going to go this way to the northeast. If it was a right-handed leaf, it would head toward the northwest, the vein structure. So this vein structure is going like this, hence why it's going to be a left-handed wrapper. Now he's going to take the first leaf, which is seco, and he's going to fold it in half because that seco is going to hold the rest of the bunch. Now he's going to take his visa right here, and what he's going to do is he's going to take a piece of that vein out, but he's going to still keep the rigidity of the leaf. And what he does is he makes a funnel out of it. We call it entubado, or to a tube. And the reason that is because we want the cigar to burn this way all the way through. It burns slower. He's also going to add another leaf there in the bunch. So what he's going to do, he's going to put that just to the right of this leaf. He's going to tear that, and he's going to entube that cigar, and he's just going to put it to the right of it, right there. Okay? Now what he's going to do, remember I said the Ligero's the strongest and the thickest? He's going to put that rock solid in the middle where his thumb is. If he doesn't, the cigar won't burn correctly because these leaves are going to burn more accelerated than this leaf. Now he's going to add another leaf of that inside too. The reason he has to add so much Ligero is for the circumference of the cigar being a 60 ring gauge. After that, he's going to tear the ends off, and the tail end are going to be in the back because they have no flavor, and he's going to take the tips, and they're going, when he breaks them, he's going to move them up to the front end of the cigar. He all does this by feel with his hands. We don't move our cigar rollers from different sizes. We keep them at the same size. So what he does is he takes pieces and he fortifies them in the middle of the bunch so there's no soft spots, okay? But if you notice, all the tips now are about a little less than an inch on the backside, because when he cuts that cigar, the excess that he cuts is not going to be the tip. So when you light that cigar, you're going to taste the tips of that cigar from the beginning to the end. Because in reality, the way you want to smoke the cigar is like this. You want to smoke it from here all the way to the back end. Remember I told you to take pictures after I'm done?
I'm just videoing.
You're going to be able to see all this stuff. Yeah, but I got a lot of first violins because a lot of those here so many years. I would say that 95% of the people here have been here a minimum of 10 years. So one thing, when I was working with the FAA, I was in charge of the airspace system between the Caribbean, and we had these things called letters of agreement, so I used to have to go to Cuba. And one time I was in Cuba, and I was in the Malecon, and I was with this guy who worked for the airport. He was an air traffic controller, and there was this big ruckus going down. And I asked what happened. They said, oh, it's a little 13-year-old girl. The police beat her with a stick behind the legs. I said, why would they beat a 13-year-old girl? And they said, well, she didn't want to have sex with a Mexican tourist. And I said, why did they beat the shit out of the Mexican tourist? He said, because he's a tourist. So I started talking to this police officer, and I said, don't you feel bad that happened? He said, no. And I said, why? He said, because I'm from Camagüey, Cuba, and I'm in Havana. I said, what's that have to do with you? He said, we're trained to not have any heart or feel bad because we come from different areas. So in other words, if you're a cop and you're from Havana, you work in another area. If you work in this area, you go. All those cigars were draw tested from a Saturday. Then what happened was when they rolled the cigars, the bunches they were making that day on Monday were draw tested, and they rolled those cigars on Tuesday. So my secret was I stayed one day ahead, so every cigar gets draw tested. We draw test in excess of 65 to 80,000 cigars a day here. What we do is we dismantle the cigar and we divide it by its division of blend, whether it be Viso, Ligero and Seco, and the binders. Any tobacco that breaks into pieces is weighed, and we take the percentage of the tobacco that can't be used anymore, and we basically tax the roller for doing that.
Hear what Nick said. Hold on.
Isn't that tequila good?
It is good.
You don't have.
I'd like to thank my great staff. I'd like to thank Silvio. I think he did a great job yesterday.
Where is he? What's up?
You guys, when you think about it, you had a really comprehensive amount of training in a real short amount of time. Someone made a funny statement earlier and said you guys got a semester of training in a couple of days. No, you probably got about 20 years of training in 2 days in a quick amount of period. You know, I don't really know of any other way that you can really do it, you know, and I wanted to do everything, and I'm pretty much an open book. A lot of times you go to different facilities, they don't want to show you different things. I want you guys to see everything. I'm proud of what we do, I'm proud of our people, but I'm also proud to show you everything, and I think it's important that you do it. I'm also really proud that I tell you the truth, and I think that's even the utmost of importance. So that being said, my wife had brought up something and said, you know, one of the things that these guys do is they really learn a lot, and when you think about it, it's almost like a complete course. So she came up with an idea, and we had talked about it, and we decided we were going to have a certificate of completion. So you guys can hang these up on your walls, and I think you deserve it.